Yo, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be watching when Zabuza almost bodied Kakashi, but Naruto and Sasuke immediately got back for their sensei. Yeah, I like this fight a lot. I got not too much to say. If you're watching this video, you already know what's up. They're about to go crazy, pretty much.
Okay, so boom! The scene kicks off with Kakashi, Naruto, and Sasuke walking through
Wait, isn't Sakura right?
Shh. That Sakura versus Sasori vid has been giving me hell.
I don't lie, bro. That's kind of OD. You're not even gonna call her by her name. That's worse than saying "and friends." Like just not going to acknowledge her presence at all. Nasty work.
They're not mentioning her today. The four of them are out here escorting this fraudulent old man back to his village. To sum it up, this man basically fleeced the leaf talking about yeah, I just need a simple escort. The whole time, the whole Phantom Troop is after him. This is like if someone hired you to lightly clean their house and you show up to this. Imagine having the audacity to call a regular cleaner. Nigga, the Flash couldn't clean this if you gave him 12 years to do it. Go ahead and sell.
I don't lie. Whoever house that is, yo, there's some changes that need to be made immediately with expeditiousness.
That house as is. Kakashi, originally unaware of the real danger that lurked ahead, was quickly put on defense when Naruto is startled by a bunny, convinced that someone is following them. Everybody in the group proceeds to cook him, but Kakashi realizes that something truly is off. Apparently, these white snow bunnies aren't. No, not those ones. These white bunny rabbits are not native to the forest that they're in. Talking about some.
That's a snow rabbit, but the color, they only have white fur during winter.
Okay, Coyote Peterson, take us to school then. Kakashi.
Nah, that's a WIQ. Like that's why Kakashi is my favorite character in all of Naruto. Bro, he just peeped the rabbit. He's like, oh, danger ahead. Lock it.
Now visibly aware of the stalker's presence, leaves him with no choice but to reveal himself. So in the most extra way possible, this nigga whips his giant blade into a tree, then teleports onto the handle, hitting these chumps with a cold.
If he was that fast, he could teleport onto a sword after he just threw it. Why not just cut them down with the sword with that speed? Just asking.
Over the shoulder glare. If you're telling me this wasn't clean, you are just a hater. But so
It was
am
clean,
I
though.
see the receding corners, nigga. Don't try and hide it with the headband. Father Time is coming for us all. He's still clean as hell, though. Look at all these ninjas just admiring the drip. Heat the limited edition Gucci clown pants. These Fashion Nova cow print arm and leg warmers. And a random seatbelt wrapped around his chest. But not for safety, just for fashion. Who is stepping like Zabuza? Kakashi can clearly feel the immense amount of aura coming off of Zabuza's chiseled 6-foot frame. So he tells his squad to get back and pulls out his iconic Sharingan for the first time in Naruto history. He had the whole squad looking shook.
Did Sasuke have his Sharingan? I don't think Sasuke even opened his Sharingan at this point. So dang, you just thought Kakashi was nah. Like originally, I'm trying to remember. I'm just like, bro, who is he? So cool. He has like a different color eye. What did he do? I don't know.
Look at Naruto's face, nigga thought his eye was bleeding. But Sasuke, on the other hand, did not have a face of shock. That boy looked disgusted. He was ready to put the paws on him immediately. He knows that the Sharingan is a powerful visual prowess only native to his clan. So how the hell did this gray-haired poser get a hold of one? Before he could go over there and snatch it back in the name of...
Bro, Sasuke tried to take Kakashi's eye back. It would have been great. It would have been over. Jesus.
his clan. Zabuza and Kakashi commence the mandatory powerful opponent glaze. Well, if it isn't Zabuza, rogue ninja of the hidden mist, well, my golly, isn't it Kakashi of the Sharingan Eye? The mouth.
Damn, they really just do that. Just, they got everybody's stats just be like, oh yeah, he is off this many people. He has done that. His he got 6 inches. He's 6'5". He got aura and Riz. Oh my god, he would make, and it said that he would make the perfect man. It doesn't say that. Yes, it does.
Is moving like a Raja. Yappa, yappa, yappa. Zabuza finally decides he's had enough of the back and forth, so he kicks off the fight by fogging up the forest with some mist. He then announces that the old man's life will be coming to an end, but
Damn.
Kakashi and his squad refuse to let that happen. So they quickly get into formation and pull out their kunais to put their lives on the line for him. And I cannot lie, those are some honorable ninjas. But honor doesn't pay the bills. This mission is already starting to look much more troublesome than anticipated. So if that were me, the old man would definitely have to come up off a few more yen for any more protection. Zabuza
Real talk, because Zabuza is like what? Allegedly a Akatsuki level. Hey, Akatsuki level is varied from Nagato to Hidan. So, hey, don't quote me. But it's like, yeah, these kids just learned how to do ninja stuff yesterday. These became official ninjas 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm gonna need to see a couple hundred more.
quickly realizes he won't be able to get to the old man without Kakashi interfering, which leaves him with no choice but to take him out. So he jumps off the tree with lightning speed, and with the decrease in clarity that the
You know, it'd be funny if his sword didn't come. His sword just got stuck in the tree because he threw it too hard. Bro, that'd been hilarious.
has caused, they are clueless as to where Zabuza went. But after a few seconds, they begin to hear the water beside them swirl. And that's when we see this nigga Zabuza hitting this 1, 2, 3 eyes on me ass pose. I know every elementary teacher has hit this pose at least once in their career. Shh, you guys can keep talking. I'll wait. Ass pose.
Bro, what if we actually just kept talking? Like, think about when you were a kid and like the class was getting a little bit too hyper, and the teacher said, "I'll wait," and then we just continued talking over her. Like we didn't. Nah, bro, that would low key be your 13th reason why, because a bunch of sixth graders don't respect you. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'd pack it up. I'll quit that day.
Farming is getting out of hand. After making sure he's got the class's full attention, he hits them with his ninja art hidden miss jutsu and vanishes in thin air. Kakashi then fills them in on the threat at hand, telling them that Zabuza was an ex-leader of the hidden miss assassination unit, known for his mastery of the silent killing technique. And as those last 3 words rolled off Kakashi's tongue, I know Sakura and Sasuke must have started smelling a nasty poop-like odor in their general vicinity, because Naruto's moving like he just shat his pants. That boy is stuttering and stammering, talking about some
silent?
And that's when Kakashi makes it even worse by saying that the killing happens in an instant without a sign or warning.
It's so
Damn.
fast you pass from this life without realizing what has happened.
Now,
To be honest, that's the preferred way to go. I don't want to suffer. Tell me I'm in misery.
hard as hell, sounding like me after climbing a flight of steps. Yes, nigga, it's been a long winter. I've been eating well. And to make matters worse, the mist begins to get on its scissor-type timing and slowly starts to get thicker and thicker. So that is when Kakashi really locks in, trying his best to anticipate Zabuza's next move. But instead of taking a page out of Kakashi's book, this boy Sasuke is shook to his core, talking pure nonsense.
If it goes on like this, I'll go insane.
Bro, if Sakura and Naruto are about to just themselves, what are you about to? Are you just too smart, or are they just too ignorant? That I look makes me look like a little boy.
It's as if my own life is being choked off. No, I can't bear it. I'd rather take my own life.
Then he proceeds to lift his kunai, ready to self-delete.
Seppuku.
This has to be the most pussy punk move I've ever seen in my life.
Real talk. Bro, what if he actually just did it, bro? I'm not sure they'd be sad. They'd just be looking at them like, huh? Why did you just do that?
Didn't even start throwing hands yet and he's already scared. I couldn't even see Sakura pulling some junk like this. I would love to see how the Sasuke Glazers defend this one. Time's up, nigga. You failed the test. There was nothing you could have put down that would have justified this. Thankfully for him, Kakashi snaps him back into reality, letting him know that he's got this. He plans on protecting them with his life. Talking about some.
I will not allow my comrades to die.
Oh, really? Is that so? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Bro, you watched the show. She jumped. She jumped in front of it. She wasn't asking. She was asking for it. She jumped in front of it. That's not a troll.
Just as Sasuke and the rest of the group were beginning to ease their nerves, this demon Zabuza suddenly appears in the middle of Team 7's formation. And by the looks of it, they are all cooked. One 360 spin with that giant sword will have them all split in two. But that man Kakashi somehow manages to sprint over there just in time and put a kunai to his gut. Now from the sheer sound of that wound, I was ready to start celebrating. Do y'all hear that? That boy is leaking that cranberry juice. But once the camera panned down, we see that it wasn't blood being spilt, but instead water. Simply meaning that this was just a water.
He's a P-man.
And just as Kakashi realized that this wasn't the real Zabuza, the actual Zabuza cocks back his sword and sliced that man in half. But if you know anything about Kakashi, that man is always playing.
Not gonna lie, the first time I watched this, I thought he was cooked, bro. I was just watching it like without thinking. I was just like, oh, that was quick.
Chess while his opponent is playing checkers. So to Zabuza's surprise, Kakashi hit him with a water clone himself. And before Zabuza could formulate a counter, Kakashi popped up behind him with a kunai pointed to his neck, talking about
do it.
Now it's over.
And now everyone is celebrating like the job is.
I would have finished it, bro. Why you over here trying to tell me the information?
Finished. And this is where me and Kakashi are a little different. Because with a threat like this, I'm going for the kill every time. Neck would have been punctured. I do not play that comeback shit. There's nothing I hate more than blowing a lead. But it honestly wouldn't have mattered anyway. Because this man Zabuza is much smarter than they thought. He peeped Kakashi copying his water clone jutsu when he was making his speech. Then hide in the forest to catch the real him. So this man made another clone to counter his counter. And now he's behind Kakashi talking that hot junk in his ear. And before Kakashi could even turn around, Zabuza was already swinging that sword right at his neck. Kakashi then ducked under it, but as if that was a part of his plan, he dug his sword into the ground with one fluid motion, switched his hand on the handle, then used it as support to send this devastating kick straight to Kakashi's chin, sending him flying through the air like a shooting star. Before Kakashi could even land, Zabuza grabbed his giant sword and started hawking this man down. Look at the speed at which he is moving. And to further show off the athleticism, he notices some spikes placed on the ground by Kakashi and stops on a dime to avoid them. Kakashi then plunges into the water.
Yikes. I would have. Bro, he must have like strong ankles or something. God damn, bro, that would have left some of y'all hurt. Ooh, y'all want to walk for a week.
Water, hoping to hide under it long enough to formulate his next move, but he quickly realizes that the water is a bit off, claiming that it's much more dense than normal. And this is when Zabuza zips over to him and hits him with the water prison jutsu. And just like that, the tides have completely turned. Zabuza then boots up another water clone jutsu to take care of the rest of these brats. And this is when he starts to...
God damn, it was at like episode 7, bro. Not gonna lie, I thought Kakashi was a fraud. But boy, I thought it was grits. I thought it was over. I thought Kakashi was a big old fraud.
Kill their morale even more, telling them that wearing a headband doesn't make you a ninja. It's only when you've hovered between life and death so many times that you have earned the title ninja. And to be very honest, he is not wrong. Zabuza's clone then quickly vanishes into the air, then wastes no time clapping the headband off of Naruto's head. And to disrespect him even more, he steps on the headband to double down on how insignificant it really is. After watching Naruto get flung in the air, Kakashi decides he's seen enough and determines that their best option is to run away out of reach from the clone, as the clone can only go so far away from Zabuza's real body. But in an odd turn of events, Sasuke says to himself, "Run away."
Not an option.
Like the nigga wasn't just
I think we should. Where he's kind of crazy strong.
ready to reunite with his pops. Sasuke then determines that their best chance of survival involves them freeing Kakashi from the water prison. So with little to no hesitation, he begins to run as Zabuza's clone and proceeds to chuck a bunch of kunais at him. Zabuza easily backs them back at him, so Sasuke jumps to dodge them, then tries to put his kunai into Zabuza's dome. But without breaking a sweat, Zabuza grabs that boy out the air by his neck, then tosses Sasuke, sending him rolling across the ground like a soccer ball. Seeing what Zabuza just did to Sasuke has Naruto spooked, so he tries to get up and make a beeline back to the village. But while trying to get up, he felt a sharp pain in his hand from his self-inflicted wound, and that is
Damn, Zabuza was really a demon, bro. Yeah, these boys questioning their lives, like questioning their whole purpose. Naruto almost gave up on trying to be like liked by people. Jesus Christ.
when he remembered the pledge he made to himself to never run away again after Sasuke saved his behind against these two no-names earlier in the mission. This memory then triggers a whole sequence of flashbacks, which is crazy to me because we're on episode 9. What the fuck is there really to flash back to? Reminds me of what my cousin told to play Mario Kart when he was young. Mind you, the nigga is 6 years old. How much younger are we talking? You just got here. Nonetheless, the flashback seemed to do the trick because now he's running towards Zabuza full speed while yelling like an idiot. And I would like to keep emphasizing that this is OG Naruto. So this nigga really had no bag. Not a duffel bag, not a bag.
Now it's crazy to think that before the Rasengan, Naruto had nothing but a Shadow Clone Jutsu. Damn. I ain't gonna lie, they failed him at the academy. How do you only know Shadow Clone Jutsu? Like, y'all ain't teaching these kids how to use Chidori's, Fireball Jutsus. I get they're kids, but it's like, bro, you're setting them off to fight Jonin. Like, teach these kids how to defend themselves properly instead of just using Shadow Clone Jutsu. Nah, teach me my chakra nature. Don't teach me some of this foolishness. What can I really do?
Backpack, not even a grocery store bag. That boy had a Ziploc bag at best, and it wasn't even name brand. So charging as Zabuza at this point in time was basically a death wish, but I still had faith in him. Naruto, of course, gets flicked back like a booger, and we obviously knew this was stupid of him to do, but listen to this S-tier hating ass, glazing ass after this blow.
What are you thinking, charging at him by yourself? Even Sasuke couldn't get to him!
Bitch. Stop.
Bro, let's keep it a whole buck. If your girl does not glaze you like that for no apparent reason, that's not your ball. That's not your ball.
He's not gonna choose you. You are two-hand bear hugging his nuts right now. Can you hop off and let him breathe, please?
chose
Naruto,
her, though.
clearly shaken up by that hit, begins to tremble. But that is when we see that nigga didn't charge in to do any damage. He charged in to get his headband back because he will not tolerate anybody disrespecting the leaf. Okay, Naruto, that is how you stand on business. The skill
I'll get it.
gap might be insane, but so are the levels of heart and determination, and Naruto stands alone at the top. Now he's rallying up the troops, telling them that they gotta make a plan. But Kakashi's over there in the water prison still barking at them to run away. Now, as much as I love Kakashi, he needs to shut his bitch ass up. Nigga, you're caught. Focus on getting...
Nah, bro. That's a W teacher, bro. Like that, like pretty much those kids are about to get packed. Let's keep the whole stat. The kids are about to get packed. Gotta tell them, get out. Like send someone else. Send tell God to come.
Out the prison. Zabuza, uninspired by their determination, starts to hit us with an evil laugh. And this is when we learn how dark this man really is. Kakashi tells them that he had to kill his own classmates when he was a child just to pass his exam. And if that wasn't shocking enough, this
It's crazy. He wasn't even part of school. He just went in there by himself. Just said like, "Yo, I get a hall pass for today." Just, just ended all these kids were trained their whole life for this. Some kid off the street comes in and you all. Yeah, you have to get back. Yeah, I got reanimate yourself and get back because that's embarrassing.
man says.
It felt so good.
Then charges at Sasuke, knocking the air out of his chest. And to make sure he stayed down, he zooms back over to him and hit him with a Randy Savage level elbow drop, making him cough up.
Oh, I don't promote any of this, but I will use my sword.
Blood. Now he's got his foot on Sasuke's stomach, treating him like a bug. But Naruto, unlike Sakura, won't just stand there and watch him disrespect his comrade like that. So he boots up a bunch of shadow clones to surround him, whips out his kunai, and tries to jump him. But with zero difficulty, Zabuza whipped all of them off of him and sent them flying. But Naruto is not finished yet. He pulls out a giant shuriken out of his bag and tosses it to Sasuke mid-slide, hits a little pose to farm some aura himself, then jumps up and beats that junk right at Zabuza. But not at the clone they're fighting, the real him. So Zabuza catches that junk out the air, but to his surprise, there was another shuriken headed his way. And with both hands occupied, he had no choice but to dodge it. But right as he jumped over it, he looks back and sees that the shuriken that he dodged was actually Naruto. And now a kunai is...
I know it's like beat down to the ground, but I do miss that version of Naruto where things were more strategic. Like the power gap wasn't so immense, where you can use like your jutsu because your person you're fighting can just absorb it. I miss that where like jutsus actually did something like I know it's still strategy a little bit, but it's like not as much. Feel me?
zooming at him, ready to pierce his arm. So with the only options being to take the kunai in the arm or move out the way, the assassin oddly chose not to take the blow. So thankfully for Team 7, he moved his arm, freeing Kakashi from the water prison jutsu. Zabuza, now enraged that he got bested by a brat, tries to chuck a giant shuriken at him. But now that Kakashi's free, he has a whole nother problem on his hands. This man really blocked that giant shuriken with his bare hands. And look at the stare too. Oh, he ready to put belt to ass. Now Kakashi and Zabuza are just staring each other down until finally Kakashi flung the giant shuriken into the air and then they both jump back. All of a sudden, Kakashi and Zabuza start busting out the longest combinations of hand signs.
You know what's crazy? Like the rest of the team could have just been throwing shurikens at him this whole time. Would just help them win.
I've
But,
ever seen in my life. Talking about some... After what felt like a millennium, they finally finished making their hand sign. Then we see them simultaneously boot up their water dragon jutsus. And now these two giant water dragons are going at while poor little Naruto is trying not to drown in the commotion. After both dragons defeat each other, Kakashi and Zabuza clash again. But this time Kakashi is somehow holding Zabuza's big ass sword off with his pinch kunai. They then separate again, and now it's really clear to everybody on the battlefield what is going on. Zabuza hits his 1, 2, 3 eyes on me pose again, but so does Kakashi. And that was when Zabuza realized he was witnessing the work of the goated copycat ninja. He then tries to weave hand signs so fast that he assumes Kakashi can't see them. But then out of nowhere, this man sees himself standing beside Kakashi. Zabuza, now freaked out by his ghost, is quickly caught off guard when Kakashi boots up a water-style giant vortex jutsu. This jutsu left Zabuza...
I don't know, that's kind of an L, bro. You Should have locked in a little bit more. Damn, bro, you can't get scared of your own shadow. That's
Too
unfortunate.
stunned to speak because this was the exact jutsu he was gonna perform. Kakashi really copied that man's jutsu
Y'all remember when the Sharingan used to do that? Crazy.
so well he managed to execute it before he could. Now Zabuza's getting thrashed around in the violent body of water, mildly destroying parts of the forest in the process. Zabuza's body finally catches a break and gets pinned to a tree, but to limit his movements, Kakashi stabbed him up with a bunch of kunais. Zabuza, perplexed on how he was able to pull out his moves before he could, demands to know if Kakashi can see into the future, but Kakashi doesn't give him the satisfaction of a real answer. Instead, he responds on some real fly shit, saying,
Create a Yes, this is your last battle ever.
let him know, Kakashi, let him know. But before he could get off any more slick remarks, this little girl appears out of nowhere and slices Zabuza's neck, putting him out in an instant. Kakashi quickly approaches the body and confirms that there is no vital signs. And then the girl tells them that she's been sent by her village to track Zabuza down and exterminate him. Naruto, now very upset that this little girl just took his kill, begins to throw a little tantrum, getting mad that she killed him so effortlessly. But Kakashi stops the crash out and tells him that he is not their enemy. He?
No!
Now, there's no way anybody in their right mind would have.
Yeah, how do you just know that? Bro, he's able to just like read it like, bro, that comes with experience, huh?
Thought this was a boy. Stop playing. And I know you didn't either, right? Be honest. Haku then teleports down to Zabuza's body, picks him up, and vanishes into thin air, thus marking the end of this juicy encounter and Zabuza's life. Or so they thought. Overall, a peak way to kick off the first arc of Naruto. Zabuza gets an A. He was really looking like Himothy III for 90% of this fight. Not to mention the saucy pull-up in the beginning to get us salivating. Kakashi, of course, gets an A. It could have been an A+ if he...
Do I get like if they both get an A? I think Kakashi got an 89, and Zabuza got like an 85 because you get the extra 4 points for finishing the job.
He didn't get caught lacking so early by the water prison, but he definitely made up for it in the end. Naruto gets an A-. My boy really revitalized the team
B+.
morale by getting his hidden leaf ninja headband back. Plus, he was the one who formulated the plan to get Kakashi out. Sasuke gets a B-. I almost gave him a D just for that stunt he pulled in the beginning. It's one thing to want to run away, but to try and off yourself? Embarrassing! And finally, Sakura and the bridge builder both get Fs. They literally did nothing the whole time. So with such weak performances, there's not much explaining that needs to be done.
Well, that is the end of the video.